Welcome to the worst of the best podcast. You wanted the best. Well, they didn't freaking make it. So here's what you get. From Canada, Ryan and
Jason. Good day, everyone, and welcome to the annual. And I believe, Jason, this is the 10th annual Worst of the Best Celebrity Deaths of 2025. This is one of our favorite episodes to do throughout the year, I admit. Throughout the year, Jason and I will send... What we do, kind of behind the curtain here, guys, is when somebody passes away, we'll send like a whatever GIF comes up in the chat. You know, when you search for an actor or an actress's name or celebrity's name, they show you a GIF. I just send it to Jason like cold, as whoever can do it first. So once we see a person's GIF with no context, we know that person's died. So that's what we've done throughout the year, Jay. And yeah, and folks, just so you know how we made this list. The rule for this year, and it's been this way for most years, it wasn't this way at the very beginning, but now it is this way, is the name has to be a name that either Jason and I together or one of us, we knew the name without looking it up. We knew who they were. So when their death was announced, like, oh, that person's dead. So some are very obvious, of course, but there's a couple that even I knew, maybe Jason doesn't know, but when they died, I was like, oh yeah, I know who that is. And there's a reason why I know who they are. So we'll talk about that. Without further ado, Jay, how you doing? By the way, and Happy New Year to you at the time of this recording. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. You are the first person I've spoken to in the new year. I wouldn't want to do anything else on January 1st at about 8:30 a.m. than this podcast with you.
Yeah, we gave it right till midnight, Jay, and I checked the news sources. Did you miss anyone died New Year's Eve for us? Anyone important anyways?
Not that I recognize, no.
Yeah. And so we recognize, of course, that celebrities, Jason, and listeners, they're the most important people in the world. You know, let's be honest. There's nobody more important than celebrities. That's why we do this special episode every year, is because the most important people in all of our lives are the celebrities. And then, of course, we honor those who have passed on. Oh, yeah, and by the way, we'll be going in death order. So at the start of the year to the end of the year. And lastly, we are going to pick the celebrity. We'll keep it simple, Jay. We're going to pick the celebrity that sort of meant the most to us, the one that kind of stung the most. And I admit there's a couple here where I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's going to be tough to say which one really kind of stung the most. First one is Mike Reiner, Jay. Mike Reiner was a high-ranking Scientology executive who served as the head of the Office of Special Affairs and international spokesperson before leaving the organization in 2007 and becoming one of its most prominent whistleblowers. He co-hosted the Emmy-winning A&E docuseries Leah Remini, Scientology in the Aftermath, appeared in the HBO documentary Going Clear, and continued exposing alleged abuses through a podcast and his blog. His date of death, January 5th, age 69, cause of death, esophageal cancer.
Oh, I've never heard of that before.
Mike Reiner was great. I did watch this show. So again, when his name came up in my feeds, I actually was like, oh, I know this guy. And he did a lot of good. And he seemed like a really sweetheart of a guy, very well spoken, and really did whistleblow because he was a high-ranking official. He really came out and fought the church. Do you know anything about Scientology, or did you see any of these documentaries?
I know a little bit, and I know about Leah. I know her story. I don't know his, but I know hers. It's interesting that somebody would like him, who was higher up, would at some point he saw the light, shared that with the world.
Yeah. Brave on his own right to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you have to admit that you're wrong.
Yeah, that's a good point. You have to, and think I agree with him that he was wrong, but that's just my opinion. And any Scientologists who listen to our show, welcome to the show, and mean no harm to you. Please don't come after us. Okay. David Lynch. David Lynch was a visionary American filmmaker renowned for his surreal, dreamlike style, coined Lynchian, exploring the darkness beneath Americana in iconic movies like the TV series Twin Peaks and films including Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive, Eraserhead, and The Elephant Man. Beginning as a painter and short filmmaker, he directed groundbreaking projects from the 70s through 2017's Twin Peaks revival, blending horror, mystery, and humor, ambient soundscapes while earning acclaim like the Palme d'Or for Wild at Heart. Date of death, January 15th, age 78. Cause of death, cardiac arrest due to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease with dehydration as a contributing factor. Jeez. David Lynch, interesting filmmaker. Have you seen any of his films? I think you know what's funny, Jay? I remember, this is going to sound weird to you. I think I remember you renting Wild at Heart when we were teenagers. Is that funny that I have that memory?
It is, because I don't have that memory.
I remember thinking,
who starred in it? Do you recall?
I think Laura Dern.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Wild at Heart. The film follows Sailor Ripley and Lula Fortune, a young couple who go on the run from Lula's domineering mother and the criminals she hires to kill Sailor. Wow.
Sailor, isn't that Nicolas Cage?
That's right.
Yeah.
You rented this movie. I don't know why I remember you renting this movie, and I never saw it, but I have that core memory. And I think it's something to do with the fact that Lauren Dern looks pretty hot in the cover. I think you were kind of hoping for maybe a couple of boobage slips. Maybe.
No comment.
Okay.
But that was my introduction to, I suppose, David Lynch, but more to Nicolas Cage. The acting in that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
His character in that, movie. It's like many, many years ago. So it may or may not stand up the test of time. But that was my introduction to Nicolas Cage. I don't think he's lived up to it.
He's had a bit of a resurgence lately.
Sure, because people have a soft spot for...
No, that's good. I like it. Bob Uecker, nicknamed Mr. Baseball, transformed his modest MLB career as a backup catcher into legendary broadcasting tenure with the Milwaukee Brewers for 54 seasons. Holy smokes. For earning the Ford C. Frick Award and Hall of Fame recognition in 2003. He became a beloved comedic figure through acting roles in the Major League films, the sitcom Mr. Belvedere, frequent appearances on Johnny Carson and Dave Letterman shows, and hosting his own sports programs. January 16th, he passed away at the age of 90. Cause of death, complications from small cell lung cancer. But I mean, at 90, it's just whatever gets you at that age.
Yeah,
but
it's old age.
He was diagnosed a couple years ago, but he kept it private all the same. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't have too many memories of him. I just remember, just like we said, in Major League, in those films, you hear his voice, and he plays himself essentially in those films.
Yeah.
Michelle Trachtenberg began her career as a child actress, breaking out with the lead role in the 1996 film Harriet the Spy. After early appearances on The Adventures of Pete and All My Children, she gained wider fame playing Dawn Summers on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the scheming Georgina Sparks on Gossip Girl, with other notable credits in films like Eurotrip, Ice Princess, and 17 Again. She died February 26, age 39. Her cause of death, Jason, was complications of diabetes mellitus. Natural causes confirmed via toxicology after her family objected to an autopsy. So, I mean, she was young, 39. The family wanted to be like, no toxicology. We don't want to make this more than what it is. But
type 1 diabetes.
So, so you are, of course, you don't mind sharing diabetic. So what do you think we should not?
Well, it could be diabetic ketoacidosis is a typical result of poor diabetic control. So your body is going, it's complicated, but it's probably diabetic ketoacidosis where you have not enough insulin and too much sugar and you don't correct that in time.
Yeah, this was a big one. I actually watched Buffy, and so that's where I knew her from. So I saw the name, and I was aware of her. I mean, she's very pretty, and of course, so watching her back in the day, she was cute and fun, and she did that funny movie Eurotrip, I think, with Tom Green, I think might have been in it. So she had a famous bikini scene, all that good stuff. So yeah, it sucks. Young age.
Yeah, that is.
I remember Sarah Michelle Gellar came out with, of course, kind words at the time. Gene Hackman.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was later in the year. It's weird, but this was February. So Gene Hackman was a versatile American actor who won 2 Academy Awards, Best Actor for The French Connection and Best Supporting Actor for Unforgiven. I freaking love that movie. Unforgiven?
Yeah.
Oh, I just love that movie so much. While earning 5 total Oscar nominations across a career, spanning iconic roles in films like Bonnie and Clyde, The Conversation, Superman, Mississippi Burning, great film, and The Royal Tenenbaums. After retiring from acting in 2004, he lived a private life in Santa Fe, New Mexico with his wife, Betsy, occasionally writing novels. He died February 17th. His body was discovered February 26th. Age of death, 95. Cause of death, advanced heart disease with Alzheimer's disease as a significant contributing factor. Kind of a sad story that both he and his wife were found dead in the house together. That's a weird one. I remember that one?
It is.
Because she was a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Man, I can't remember. We're not, people can Wikipedia this. We're not here to, give everyone's life story. But it's just, this was just not just a passing of a great actor, but a sad, tragic passing at the same time. And that both husband and wife were there and the dogs were malnourished. And I think she died first. That was the issue. Because he had Alzheimer's and old, he wasn't able to take care of himself after her passing. So I think it was her death, and then he died because of her death.
Probably. Yeah. Like, I think she was found in the bathroom.
Bathroom, yeah, with like pill bottles or something scattered around her. That's weird.
Who knows?
Rest in peace to them, of course. Did you enjoy Gene Hackman as that actor? I should have asked that.
Oh yeah, like every movie that I had ever seen him in,
right?
There's nothing bad to say about him. He always performed well. Yeah. And I enjoyed all the movies that I would see him in. I haven't seen every movie that he's been in, obviously, but
like you said, everything he does, he doesn't doubt it. He's Gene Hackman. You know, he's just good at what he does. I've gone back and watched some of his older films, like The Conversations, an interesting one, and great Lex Luthor. You and I grew up with him as Lex Luthor. Yeah, great stuff. Okay, rest in peace. George Foreman was a 2-time world heavyweight boxing champion and 1968 Olympic gold medalist who achieved one of the greatest comebacks in sports history by regaining the title at age 45 in 1994, retiring with a 76-win, 5-loss professional record. That's pretty good. After boxing, he became a successful entrepreneur with the iconic George Foreman Grill, which sold over 100 million units. He was an ordained minister and a television personality, including his own sitcom and an appearance on The Masked Singer. Oh, he did that one, did he? He died on March 21st at the age of 76. His cause of death, Jay, was undisclosed. The family publicly said it was natural causes. He didn't use the grill enough.
He just seemed, you know what helped him stay, I'll say, popular, or he kind of, no pun intended, rolled with the punches.
You couldn't knock down his good attitude.
Yeah, like he was just a likable individual. Mm-hmm. Didn't take himself too seriously.
No.
And congrats to him winning at 45. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. My understanding, I'm not a boxing nerd, but my understanding is his punches really hurt. He could punch.
Yeah, he'd be one of the heaviest, not necessarily the fastest, but just heavy hits.
Like if you got hit by him, you felt it.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer. We're getting to the couple now where it's like, man, which one sort of stung the most? Val Kilmer was a versatile American actor, of course, known for iconic roles such as Iceman and Top Gun, and the sequel, Batman and Batman Forever, Jim Morrison, The Doors, Doc Holliday, and Tombstone. I mean, that for me alone, Jay. Tombstone's my favorite Western of all time. It's in my top 5 films of all time, with other memorable performances in Heat, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and voicing Moses in The Prince of Egypt. After battling throat cancer, diagnosed in 2015, which severely affected his voice and was chronicled in the 2021 documentary Val, which I did see, and it's very nicely done. It was narrated by his son Jack, which I believe it almost sounded like Val. It was very well done, or at the same time, it worked really well. So his son narrated his voice, his story, which was a nice way to do it. He continued to inspire fans with his resilience until his final years. April 1st, at the age of 65, cause of death, pneumonia.
Too young and kind of a long struggle there in the last about 10 years, right?
Yeah. When he did pass, you're almost kind of like, ooh, good. Not good, and like the suffering's over. This dealing with that is over. So there's some peace in that. So this one wasn't so much like, I can't believe he died. It was like, well, he fought so long, and what a great fight. And that's a truly rest in peace now, Val, because of your long fight. But he gave us such The Doors, a performance, Tombstone, Heat, Willow. Let's not forget about Willow. I loved him as Matt Morgan and Willow. He was so great in that. Here's a little side story about Willow, Jay. Remember our great grandma Edna?
Mm-hmm.
So me and my friends went to go see Willow downtown Victoria. And we go in the theater, we go sit down. As I'm walking down the aisle, there was Grandma Edna sitting by herself in the theater to watch Willow.
Oh, cool.
And so we're like, Grandma, please come sit with us. So I watched Willow with Grandma Edna in the theater with my friends and her.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
She had a blast. Isn't that hilarious? She used to sit by herself and like, come on, come sit. And we all sat together.
What I'd be curious to know is how old was Edna at the time?
Oh, she must have, probably at least 70 something at that time.
So I kind of wonder, like, at your age, she would have felt ancient, but maybe she was still vibrant.
She was a very vibrant older woman to begin with. She was always, I never remember being nothing but vibrant. She always reminded me, I know she's from England. Even as a kid, she always reminded me of the Queen. I just thought she was almost like the Queen of Parent. I don't know why. Every time I talked to her, it's like, I'm talking to the Queen. It just seemed like she looked like Queen Elizabeth. It was weird.
Yeah. So going back to Val, I appreciated the fact that he was involved in Maverick.
Yeah, that was nice.
In a small way. Yeah.
And that was a really emotional scene. I mean, that was.
Yeah, and it created closure to his career.
His career and to Tom and the character, everything. It was perfectly done.
Yeah.
You could tell that Tom, though he was quote unquote acting, it was real.
Yeah, it was real for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Rest in peace to Val. Ted Kotcheff. He was a prolific Canadian director of Bulgarian descent who began his career in television at the CBC before achieving acclaim with films like the Australian thriller Wake in Fright, the coming-of-age drama The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz. But, Jay, it was the Hollywood hit First Blood that broke him into the stratosphere that you and I knew him from. And he also did Weekend at Bernie's, Fun with Dick and Jane, and served as executive producer on the first 13 seasons of Law & Order Special Victims Unit, showcasing his versatility across genres from action to comedy. Died at the ripe old age of 94. Cause of death, well, it's heart failure, but it's like something's got to go. You're 94. The heart said, I'm done. It beat its last beat. And that's pretty much natural causes, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that is not. Yeah.
That's why he's on the list, folks. Yeah. Again,
yeah, shout out to Rambo.
Of course.
First Blood. I mean,
that's so cool that he got to work with Sly on that movie. And I wonder if he knew. I know that film very well, and I knew that it wasn't the easiest film to make. I bet you when that film became the success it did become, it was probably a huge relief to him.
Right.
Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio, served as the 266th Pope from 2013 until his death, becoming the first from the Americas, the first Jesuit, and the first non-European in centuries, while championing progressive causes like climate action, social justice, and greater inclusion for LGBTQ plus individuals. His pontificate featured outreach to the marginalized, interfaith dialogue, friendships with Hollywood figures, a cameo in the film Beyond the Sun, and documentaries exploring his life and travels. He died at the age of 88. He's resting with Jesus in April of 21. His cause of death, Jason, was cerebral stroke followed by coma and irreversible cardiocirculatory collapse. So he's resting with the angels now, Jason. Pope Francis. What do you think of the old Pope there?
I really no comment. I mean, the way you read that, he sounds more like a celebrity rather than a religious figure. I don't know. It feels weird when it starts to, when these faiths start mixing in with Hollywood. And am I wrong in that? I don't know.
No, I'm letting you finish. No, I know.
I'm not sure if you know what I'm saying. It starts to get a little bit.
Well, yeah, it becomes almost like celebrity worship with a holy figure. It's kind of weird. Like,
yeah.
that doesn't seem like the right way to be. Like, are we supposed to worship these people? Are we celebrating their celebrity to a degree? We even have celebrities who are excited to see him, if that makes sense. He's a celebrity to celebrities.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, bye. Rest in peace. But he's a huge figure. That's why he made the list. And again, when he passed, I was like, I know who he was.
It's a big deal.
Is there any other religion that when the leader passes makes world news? Really?
Yeah, not really.
Well, George Wendt, Jason, was a beloved American actor and comedian best known for portraying the affable, beer-loving barfly Norm across all 275 episodes of the iconic sitcom Cheers. Every scene, remember, he just waddled into that bar. He'd waddle in, and they all yell, Norm! And he just like, yeah. He pull up a stool. My least favorite character on that show. He was never funny to me. I never enjoyed him. I'm sorry. Yeah. Rest in peace to George Wendt, but I never thought he was funny. I thought, of course, who's the post guy again? Oh, it just escaped me. Cliff. Postman Cliff. Yeah, there's no fact that he was like a walking Wikipedia at the time. Like, little did we know he was a walking smartphone.
He was a fact checker.
He was a fact checker, walking smartphone / Wikipedia. I loved it. Did you like Shelley Long or Kirstie Alley? Which one did you find yourself a young Jason being sort of attracted to? Do you remember?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really a huge Cheers like fan. I think I'm indifferent, to be honest.
Okay.
Probably if I was to revisit it, I probably would be more, not necessarily like attracted, but I probably appreciate Shelley Long's character.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not just talking about just aesthetics, but just
Yeah,
I think
I think it'd be Shelley Long would be something that's more enduring.
Yeah.
And more relatable. But as far as this Norm guy goes, how old was he in the show?
Well,
because why does everybody look old? And he was in every episode.
Every episode.
Like, he looks pretty young in this picture now.
I think that might be a season 1 photo there. So Ted Danson was 34. Shelley Long was 33.
Wow.
Rhea Perlman was 34. And George Wendt was 33. Cliff Clavin was 35. So Cliff,
and how many seasons? Like 10?
I think 11, 10 or 11. So even when the show retired, they were 5 years younger than we are now. They look 20 years older.
It's so weird. Okay, I don't understand that timeline.
I don't get it either. They say it could do with hairstyles. I've seen like this Golden Girls meme. They just changed the hairstyles in the Golden Girls, and they did look younger. It's crazy. So it's the hairstyle. Okay. Well, George Wendt, he earned 6 consecutive Emmy nominations for Outstanding Supporting Actor. Started his career at Chicago's Second City Improv Theater, where he met his wife, Bernadette Burkett. Wendt reprised and parodied his signature role in shows like Frasier, Wings, and The Simpsons, while also appearing in films and guest starring on various series. But the Norm character was his bread and butter. he ate that bread and butter.
Yeah, I
mean, his date of death was May of, he was 76. Jay, do you want to guess his cause of death? Cardiac arrest, congestive heart failure, coronary artery disease, hypertension. Sorry, that's how he died.
You name it. Yeah, you name it.
But the heart did it to 76, man. You got to give that heart credit, man. It carried that guy until he was 76. Give that heart credit. Okay. Speaking of giving the heart credit, Brian Wilson. He was the visionary co-founder, primary songwriter, bassist, and producer of the Beach Boys, crafting timeless hits like Good Vibrations, God Only Knows, and the groundbreaking 1966 album Pet Sounds. Wildly regarded as one of the greatest records in pop history. Despite battling severe mental health issues and substance abuse that impacted his contribution in later decades, he released 12 solo albums and completed the long-abandoned Smile project in 2004, and he continued performing into the 2020s. Jay, he died at the age of 82 in June. Cause of death, respiratory arrest. He also had like chronic kidney disease, obstructive sleep apnea, and a neurodegenerative disorder.
I mean, the reality is we all succumb to something.
Yeah.
I did see him and the Beach Boys perform. I worked concerts, and that was one of the concerts that I worked. Yeah, actually, they opened up for Bryan Adams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's odd. Really?
Yeah.
Did they sing Big Girls? That's not them, is it? No, never mind. This is Big Girls Don't Cry. That's not them. I'm thinking of another doo-wop band. All right. Did they do Surfing in the USA?
Yes, they did.
Everybody's gone surfing. Oh no!
Yeah, that's. I think that may be their Paradise City. You know.
Oh sure, that's their closer, of course.
And on a high note,
you know when they did Aruba, Jamaica.
Oh yeah, they did that.
Did you know they were like only 40? That was their big comeback, and they were old at 40.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like with George Wendt.
When we were teenagers, and the Beach Boys came back with that song. It was a popular song when we were teenagers. We're like, oh, the old Beach Boys think they can come back with a big hit, and there's the biggest hit of their career. They were 40.
Yeah, they're still young.
That's 10 years younger plus than we are now. I remember when the Rolling Stones, we talked about this before, but when the Rolling Stones were made fun of for being old touring, Jay, and this was 1992, the wheelchair tour. They were 52, but they were like 50.
I know. And then like that one performance with Axl Rose, you know, he comes on stage, Axl and Izzy, and they sing Salt of the Earth. And you're just like looking at like the young gun Axl versus the old Mick Jagger. And now Mick Jagger's still performing.
Well, they just
Axl's still performing. Oh, I know. They had been up to last year.
Yeah, well, I know. No, I don't mean that as a 2025. They were still, but it's just, yeah.
And Axl's now older now.
Yeah, I know, by like 15 years old.
Than Mick Jagger was when they did that duet, Salt of the Earth. So it's amazing. Time's amazing.
Jimmy Swaggart was a prominent Pentecostal televangelist who built a massive global ministry in the 80s, reaching millions through his fiery sermons. the Jimmy Swagger telecast, and gospel music, recording over 200 albums and raising up to $150 million annually at its peak. His career was derailed, however, Jason. It's all for God, Jay. It's all for God. Don't be silly now.
150 million back then?
I know, per year.
Holy.
His career was derailed, Jay, however, by prostitution scandals in the late 80s, leading to a tearful public confession and a defrocking. He got defrocked, all right.
Jimmy got swagger.
He got swagger and he got defrocked. But he persevered, Jason, launching the Sun Life Broadcasting Network in 2010 and continuing to preach until his death. Well, you got to preach, Jay. The word
Praise
of God from Jimmy. Praise be to God from Jimmy. He died at the ripe old age of 90, complications following a cardiac arrest that he suffered in June. Yeah, I remember that tearful. It made the news when we were kids.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
You can look it up, guys. You can go Google it. It's pretty common. You can watch it. I'll let you guys decide. Was Jimmy crying because he got caught or because he felt remorse? Let me know in the comments. Michael Madsen was a prolific American actor renowned for his intense portrayals of tough, often menacing characters, most notably as the sadistic Mr. Blonde in Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs, and Bud in one of my favorite films of all time, the Kill Bill films, with additional collaborations in The Hateful Eight and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I love Michael Madsen. Thank you, Quentin, for giving him such great acting roles. His extensive filmography, though, continued, including standout roles in Donnie Brasco, Thelma and Louise, Die Another Day, Free Willy, Sin City, and Species, spanning over 300 credits across film and television. Remember that movie Species, Jay, that came out in the 90s?
Yeah.
With that alien?
Yeah.
The Tasha Hendricks or whatever. She's Canadian, by the way. You know, she was only 19 in that first film, taking off her top and all those scenes. She was 19. Bless her heart. Those are my favorite aliens. The ones that just but if the world gets taken over, if we get attacked by busted blonde aliens, oh no, don't attack me. I think the premise was that she had a
stop as you put your hands behind your back.
I can't take no more. I think the premise of that film was like she had to procreate with a human, and then she'd kill you or something afterwards if you didn't make her reach climax. I'm not sure. Something like that.
I don't remember the movie.
I just know she took off.
I know the movie.
Bless her heart. Yeah, so he died at the age of 67, cardiac arrest due to cardiomyopathy, coronary artery disease, and chronic alcoholism. So rest in peace to Michael Madsen. Great. I always enjoyed him. Sucks. That's 67 is too young, man. Put down the bottle, folks. Put down the bottle. It's poison. You're literally drinking poison, Jay. It's poison.
I know. Every indication that it is extremely toxic, even a glass, it's completely toxic. But
Mark Snow was a Juilliard-trained composer renowned for creating the iconic whistling theme and scoring over 200 episodes of The X-Files. Becoming a pioneer in electronic television scoring after transitioning from orchestral work in the 70s and 80s. His public career included memorable music for series like Smallville, Ghost Whisperers, Blue Bloods, Heart to Heart, and TJ Hooker, earning him 15 Emmy nominations, 30 ASCAP awards, and honors from the Society of Composers and Lyricists and the TV Academy. He died at the age of 78. His death was a rare form of blood cancer. I even knew the name Mark Snow because I'm such an X-Files fan, so I knew he did that music. So when I heard of his passing, I was like, oh, yeah, Mark Snow. That theme is hard to beat. Once that theme kicks in, you know you're in for an episode of X-Files.
That was such a great show.
Oh, yeah. And boy, Gillian Anderson. Talk about somebody who's aged like fine wine over the years.
Yes.
Malcolm Jamal Warner rose to fame as a child actor playing Theodore Huxtable, the only son on the groundbreaking sitcom The Cosby Show from 84 to 92.
Cosby didn't like competition.
No, he only wanted one man on the set. Yeah. Or he earned an Emmy nomination and he became a beloved figure in television history. He later starred in sitcoms like Malcolm and Eddie, recurred on shows like The Resident, 911, and Alert Missing Persons Unit, and pursued passions in directing, poetry, and music, including Grammy recognition. He died at the young age of 54, accidental drowning.
That's horrible.
He got caught up in a rip current while swimming in Costa Rica. Rip currents, they are unforgiving. They don't care. They'll suck you out, man.
You have to have ultimate respect for water wherever you are, whether it's a lake, a stream, the ocean. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Ozzy Osbourne, dubbed the Prince of Darkness, pioneered heavy metal as the frontman of Black Sabbath, delivering iconic albums and hits in the 70s before launching a successful solo career with tracks like Crazy Train and earning multiple Grammys. He gained further fame through the groundbreaking MTV reality series The Osbournes with his family and performed an emotional farewell concert with Black Sabbath's original lineup just weeks before his death. He died at the age of 76 in July. Acute myocardial infarction, heart attack, and out-of-hospital cardiac arrest with coronary artery disease and Parkinson's disease, all contributing factors. Ozzy Osbourne, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, there's fewer and fewer and fewer true lead singers.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're one fewer less. Am I making any sense?
There's something about the lead singer, like when you say the name,
frontman.
Like, front, like Axl Rose, Steven Tyler, Mick Jagger. There's
Robert
how many
Plant.
are left that?
Yeah.
How many can you name right now that from the 40 and under club? Let's say.
So he's one. We're one less of those type of people that are just pioneers and icons. Yeah, his contribution and to heavy metal, to rock and roll, to possibly future frontman, but we'll see. And he seemed despite the reputation or whatever, you got to separate the character from the person sometimes, and the role that he played.
Was well loved by everyone.
Yeah. Did you ever see him in concert?
I saw the original Black Sabbath during their Black Sabbath tour.
Oh, yeah, I did too. Were we not together?
Whatever it was.
UBC?
It was Vancouver.
The UBC Thunder.
Yeah, I guess we went together.
Okay.
That was 25 years ago. So
that was Slayer.
Isn't that weird to think, Jay, he was 50? He was our age at that show.
Wow. See, So, White Zombie was there. 50. Primus.
Yeah, Rob Zombie, Primus. Okay. The funny thing is I haven't seen the solo Ozzy show, which I would have loved to see because I'm a huge fan of his solo work. But seeing the Black Sabbath show, seeing that live, I mean, come on. That was pretty amazing.
It was. So, and I also saw him as a solo artist as well.
Oh, cool.
They would not have had that big show at the end of his life here if he wasn't loved and respected. So
the fact that he made it to 76 is a miracle to some degree.
Oh, the abuse that he put his body through is just unprecedented.
I think he says some sort of quote, I'm paraphrasing, like it was during the Osbourne part. So he's in his, almost like he's walking around the Osbourne show, that reality show, Jay, at your age. He was your age in that show.
What?
Yeah, that came out in 2000 or something. It was a long time ago. The Osbournes was 2000, 2001. Let's say at least 20 years ago.
Shuffling around.
Yeah, he was shuffling around. He was your age, Jay. But he said, I think it was around that time, he said that he takes more drugs now to stay alive than he took.
I've done 70 pills a day.
Yeah, it was something. It was insane. It was only 2 days after this icon's death. This icon died.
Oh, yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Crazy.
Yeah. 2 days later, we were barely mourning Ozzy. We had to start mourning the Hulkster. He was born Terry Gene Bollea. He was a legendary professional wrestler, propelled WWE to global fame in the 80s with Hulkamania, headlining 8 WrestleManias, winning 6 WWE championships, and becoming a 2-time Hall of Fame inductee. He crossed over into the mainstream entertainment with roles in films like Rocky III, No Holds Barred, TV appearances on the A-Team, and the reality show himself had one. Hogan Knows Best, solidifying his status as a popular culture icon. He died, Jason, at the age of 71. Cause of death, heart attack. The controversial figure in many ways. His outside of the ring life is frustrating because as a child, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed his character. There was a terrible thing he did just before his death. I mean, his ex-wife had this tearful plea on social media. I forget what it was about, but she was crying like about her plight in life. And then Hogan and his young wife at the time, new wife, were eating popcorn, mocking, laughing at the video, kind of like eating popcorn. This is what I mean, man. Like, dude, come on, you're supposed to be an example to the little Hulksters, and here you are mocking your ex-wife's whatever her drama is. You shouldn't be mocking it like publicly, anyways. You know what I mean?
This is the problem with modern day social media. I mean, that's the social media response. This back and forth pettiness that is on full display. To be honest, on both sides. airing your grievances or whatever you're going through in such a public way, you're going to get a public response. Yeah, it was sad to see some of the behind the scenes stuff, especially when he had to deal with his children, and you see him come to like car accident scenes or whatever, and he's walking around with his cane, and you just look at a person who isn't happy to see what his life turned out. It's conflicting. I mean, I appreciated the fact, say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
Eat your vitamins, go to school, do your homework.
Yeah, like those were great messages when we were growing up. But maybe it gets to their heads, a little bit.
That's what I mean. His peers in the ring, a lot of bad stuff. Yeah. It's like, man, there's enough smoke, there's fire. And then saying inappropriate things, of course, about other races. And anyways, all that being said, but the childhood part of Ryan, we stayed up late watching Saturday night's main event.
Oh, yeah. We would go to bed, and then our mom would wake us up so we could watch WWF wrestling.
Saturday night's main event was midnight. It started at midnight on NBC.
I mean, that was a lot of our childhood. I remember wrestling in the school field at recess and lunch. We'd all, be different characters, and so that was a big part of our growing up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, rest in peace to Hulk. He gave us a lot of great memories for the entertainment field, but a complicated outside the ring life for sure. Yeah. He was loved by people at the same time, but we're all complicated humans to a certain degree, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing.
Lonnie Anderson, of course, you and I watched WKRP in Cincinnati when we were kids. It's funny. Lonnie Anderson was the blonde bombshell on that show. But if you go back and see the other, remember the brunette that was on the show?
I don't recall.
Dude.
I'm going to have to see a picture.
Okay, I'm going to show you really quick. Okay, so it's just funny how when you're young, of course, we're just like little boys, right? We're like, oh, the hot blonde woman. Well, the brunette on the show, her name was Jan Smithers, who played Bailey Quarters. She was way hotter. It's a black and white photo, but here's a picture of them together.
I am partial to brunettes anyway, so
I just remember it's the same thing with Ginger and Marianne on Gilligan's Island. We all like Ginger,
right?
She's the sex pot. That's the design, but it's funny when you get older, you realize it was Marianne all along.
Yeah, I know.
And same with Daphne and Velma. When we were kids, Daphne was the hot, cheerleading girl. But then you get older, it's Velma all along. Why does that happen? Why do you realize it's actually Velma all along?
I think it's maturity.
The beauty was there the whole time. We missed it. So here's a picture of what I'm talking about. The two actresses that were in WKRP. And then you tell me, objectively, which one would you date?
Oh, yeah.
I know. That's her. She was gorgeous.
It's not even a question. The funny thing, though, is, Ryan, is I don't remember the brunette. Oh. So I'm not sure how they presented the character. Lonnie Anderson obviously had, the bigger paycheck.
Oh, I think it's bigger.
I was like, the bigger prominent role. So she was kind of force fed to everybody. The brunette, she actually looks like, just the hairstyle, everything. It looks modern even to today. Interesting.
Here's a colorized picture of her on the show.
Oh, okay. Now I remember. Yeah.
If I was working at WKRP, man, I'd be asking her out for sure. Back to Lonnie. Rest in peace. She was the American actress best known for WKRP from 78 to 82, earning 2 Emmy nominations and 3 Golden Globes nods for her for her performances. She later reprised the character in sequels, joined the cast of Nurses, and appeared in films like A Night of the Roxbury, as well as guest spots in shows including Melrose Place and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Well, let's not forget her wonderful marriage and lovely marriage to Burt Reynolds. They're both up in heaven together right now, renewing their vows, maybe. She died at the age of 79. She had a rare, aggressive form of cancer, which I can't pronounce. But Terrence Stamp was a distinguished English actor whose career spanned 6 decades, earning acclaim for his debut in Billy Budd for an Oscar nomination, art house masterpieces, iconic villain, of course, General Zod and Superman 2. He won Best Actor at the Con for The Collector. He collaborated with many big directors like Tim Burton. He also had a late career performance in The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and Last Night in Soho in 2021. But more importantly for me, Ryan, the reason why I know him, not just because of Superman alone, because of his great role in one of my favorite Westerns of all time, Young Guns, where he played John Tunstall, who's gunned down in front of his young protégés in the desert. And that's how those guys, the regulators, reformed, was because of his death. Jason, Terrence Stamp died at the age of 87.
Yeah, obviously, for me, it would be the Superman. It would be my most lasting impression, though I am a Young Guns fan. Would I be able to point that out? no, but I mean,
Oh.
he is recognizable.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it in my mind's eye, him getting gunned down
Right.
in Young Guns, but I would point to the character Zod on Superman.
Brent Hines was a co-founding lead guitarist and vocalist of the progressive metal band Mastodon, contributing distinctive riffs, melodic solos influenced by his banjo roots, and shared vocal duties across 8 studio albums, including winning a Grammy for Sultan's Curse in 2018. After parting ways with the band in March 2025, initially described as mutual, but later disputed by Hines as him being forced out, he continued with side projects like Fiend Without a Face, West End Motel, Giraffe Tongue Orchestra, and Legend of the Siegelman. He died, Jason, at the age of 51 due to multiple blunt force injuries from a motorcycle collision due to excessive speed.
Yeah, a tough one.
Now, you have a little bit of knowledge of these guys?
My youngest son introduced me to Mastodon, which is what he is known for. I had not heard of them before that, but upon listening to their music, it's amazing. They're an amazing band, and he's, arguably the heart and soul of it. We went and saw them a couple years ago. My son and I were at the front and center during the Mastodon show, right on the rail, getting beat up the whole time, but we held on for the whole set. And I've got some video of him and his guitaring right in front of us. So that's a fond memory that I was able to share with my son. His passing was quite hard on him, and we reminisced a little bit at the time of his passing. Anyway, so I'll always be interconnected with Brent Hines and the band Mastodon.
All right, the time it's recording is January 1st. This will be released fairly soon. I'm going to try to get this out sooner than later anyways to tap into the new year. And tomorrow, I'm actually recording an episode of Mastodon with a new guest host named Joe, who's the brother of Truck Randy, who's guested on a couple times on the show. He wanted to do Mastodon, and I've never heard of them before, never heard their music. So I listened to Crack the Sky, the 2009 album for the first time. Totally into it. So stay tuned for that episode coming out shortly this new year, where I break down Mastodon with Joe and share my feelings as a first-time listener of that album. I'll share my thoughts. I'll save it for the show. But thank you for Jay for sharing yours. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Graham Greene was a trailblazing Canadian First Nations actor who earned an Academy Award nomination for his portrayal of Lakota medicine man Kicking Bird in Dances with Wolves, becoming a pioneer for Indigenous representation in Hollywood. With a prolific career spanning over 150 credits, he delivered memorable performances in The Green Mile, Maverick, Wind River. He was in the series Last of Us, Reservation Dogs, and Echo, while also supporting Indigenous theater education in Toronto. He died at the age of 73, natural causes, following a long illness, but the details were not specified. So there you go. Rest in peace to the great Graham Greene, fellow Canadian, Jay.
I know him from Dancing with Wolves.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Mostly, I mean, I recognize his face throughout the years, but it's mostly Dances with Wolves. I'd love to watch that movie again. It's been decades probably since I've seen it. It'd be interesting to see how it stands up over time, but I suspect
it would be interesting.
I suspect I'd appreciate it even more as an adult.
Oh, okay.
It's the cinematography, the way that they make movies differently back then to today. I appreciate a little bit of a longer, slow burn in a movie than all the CGI. Yeah, so I think I'd even appreciate it more. I loved it back when I had seen it. We saw it in the theater. I may have seen it once or twice outside of the theater, throughout the years, but it's been decades.
That's kind of why I'm a big fan of Westerns, Jay, in general, because the genre forces you very rarely. I mean, you might use CGI for a backdrop, so to speak. But even then, they're very careful with it, and that's what I like about Westerns in general. Anything that's Old West, 1800 type, just you're kind of forcing your hand. There's no magic. There's no magic. There's no CGI trickery. No flying people. Like, it's just people on horses talking and whatever it is, gunfights, and the drama is the human relations. So Westerns to me always have that. You gotta tell a story to make a Western fun, or else what do you have, right? Just tumbleweed. So that's why I'm a big fan of Westerns, I think, because it forces the hand in a good way to tell a story. Charlie Kirk founded Turning Point USA at the age of 18, building into a major conservative youth organization that mobilized young voters for Donald Trump through campus debates, the viral Prove Me Wrong tables, and large-scale rallies. A prominent media personality and staunch Trump ally at the time, he hosted a popular podcast, appeared frequently on Fox News, and became a leading voice in the MAGA movement until his assassination, Jason, during a campus event. The date of his death, Jay, was September 30th. I think he's clocking at the youngest this year, 31. Cause of death, Jason, nothing else to investigate here. Single gunshot wound to the neck. That's it. Nothing else to see here.
Case closed.
Case closed. Nothing else to investigate. It was one lone angry person, student who got offended by some transgender questions, loaded up the weapon, made little carvings on the bullets to make his point, and all that good stuff. So, Jason, any thoughts on Charlie Kirk before we move on?
I really don't. I mean, I knew him peripherally. I saw way more of him after his, let's just call it an assassination. Yeah, it's an unfortunate, obviously. I mean, there's not really much more to say.
Yeah, there's not much more. No, of course. I mean, what are we going to say that someone else does already think or have investigated themselves, of course? This was a huge topic. When we did our Google search episode, of course, recently, this was huge on the, not rightfully so, but understandably so.
And in many ways, it still is.
It's not going away for a while, yeah.
No.
Robert Redford, big name, was a charismatic American actor and filmmaker whose iconic roles in classics like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, All the President's Men, and The 3 Days of the Condor defined New Hollywood, earning him an Oscar nomination and lasting stardom. He won Best Director for his debut film, Ordinary People. Founded the Sundance Institute and Film Festival to champion independent cinema and remained an influential environmental activist throughout his life. Died, Jason, September at the ripe old age of 89. Died peacefully in his sleep. Oh, that is the way to go. That is the way to go. Look at that young Brad Pitt there. I mean, Robert Redford there. Doesn't he look like a Brad Pitt with red hair a little bit?
I see what you're saying. But there is no cloning.
Central casting? Cloning? Do you think that we haven't done an actual cloning conspiracy theory episode, have we? That'd be a fun one to cover. Remember, folks, when we cover conspiracy theories, we don't say we subscribe.
Well, you just acknowledge that they're out there.
That they exist. Yeah, when you do a true crime episode, you're not advocating murder, but you're saying this thing happened. This is what happened. Yeah. Same with conspiracy theories. They exist, and this is why they say they exist. Okay. I enjoyed him as an actor and director. I thought he's great. I've always enjoyed him. And I think if I was younger during those days, I would have been a big fan of his. The same way I'm kind of like, that's why I mentioned Brad Pitt. I'm a huge Brad Pitt fan. I think I would have been the same growing up with Redford. Jane Goodall, Jay, was a pioneering British primatologist whose groundbreaking observations of chimpanzees in the Tanzania's Gombe Stream National Park, starting in 1960, revolutionized understanding of primate behavior, revealing tool use, meat eating, hunting, and complex social structures, including warfare and cannibalism. A tireless conservationist and advocate, she founded the Jane Goodall Institute, opposed animal testing and climate change impacts on wildlife, promoted plant-based diets through works like her 2021 vegan cookbook, authored over 24 books, inspired global audiences via documentaries and cultural references. She just died of a cardiac arrest at 91. Jane Goodall, lovely photo over here. This is 1965, so she was probably this was 60 years ago, so she's 31. That photo there, yeah,
31, eh? Oh, she's pretty. Yeah.
She's very pretty. Don't know her that well, but that's a name I did know. So again, when the names were announced, I knew exactly who she was. We were
kids, right? Like even when I was a kid, I knew of her and her work.
It's pretty amazing to kind of dedicate your whole life to a thing.
I was thinking the same thing, like her passion, right? She found a passion, was able to create a career around that. That's rare to do. It's a rare accomplishment.
Yeah, I've done nothing with my life. That's what I've learned. Diane Keaton was an acclaimed American actress who rose to fame with her Oscar-winning role in Woody Allen's Annie Hall, cementing her as a fashion icon while delivering memorable performances as Kay Corleone in the old three Godfather films, and starring in hits like The First Wives Club, Something's Got to Give, and multiple collaborations with Nancy Meyers. Beyond acting, though, she directed projects of her own, authored best-selling memoirs, including the book Then Again, and pursued passions of photography, singing, and real estate renovation throughout her prolific career. She died, Jason, in 79 from pneumonia. I always enjoyed her. I've seen her many, I think I've seen most of the movies. Of course, The Godfather. She was great. Yeah. Very talented actress. Never rubbed me the wrong way.
No,
or the right way. But she was she was just one of those actresses when she's in a film, like, oh, we're gonna get good acting from Diane Keaton.
Yeah,
she's very good at her job.
I've got nothing really to add. I mean, she's just a name that's been there since forever.
Yeah, you know who she was. The fact when you heard she passed away, you knew right away who it was.
Yeah.
And that kind of ties into the next one, Jay. Ace Frehley, born Paul Daniel Frehley, was a founding member and original lead guitarist of Kiss. adopting the iconic spaceman persona with pyrotechnic guitars and contributing songs and vocals like Shock Me across the band's early albums. After leaving in 82, he enjoyed solo success with his 1978 platinum album featuring the hit New York Groove. He rejoined for the 96 reunion and Psycho Circus album and continued releasing solo work into the 2020s. Jay, he died in October at the age of 74. His cause of death, Jason, was blunt force injuries to the head, including skull fractures, subdural hematoma, brain bleed, and stroke due to an accidental fall.
Ooh.
Oh, 74. He just tripped on something. Yeah. Hit his head on something.
Could have suffered a stroke and then fell. Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
Regardless, that sounds tragic. And was he alone?
I don't
found him that way? Yeah. Oof.
The Gene Simmons push him?
Yeah. Kiss has been a part of my whole life. It would be a big reason why it is.
Yeah, when you heard of his passing, you knew exactly who he was. We weren't Kiss fans, but I'll say this. On this podcast, the Worst of the Best podcast, with two different co-hosts, I've actually done 2 Kiss albums for review, and I legitimately enjoyed them. I did Love Gun and Destroyer. And they were good albums. They were just good rock and roll albums. This is good rock and roll. I was actually surprised. Some of the early stuff was just good, decent. This is the pre-reveal makeup days when they were still in the makeup era at the beginning of their career with all 4 original members. It was good stuff. I could objectively see why they were popular.
They combined the imagery, the theatrics with solid music. Would they have been as big without the theatrics? I don't know.
And no, I think is the answer.
Yeah.
I think that's the answer. I think it was fun
marketing genius.
Yeah, that's Gene Simmons.
Combined with reasonably solid music.
Yeah. And Ace Frehley was actually a good guitarist too. So
yes. Yeah, everybody will say that. He's a huge influence on many modern day guitarists.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. His name comes up all the time. Yeah.
All the time.
Well, you know who's not a influence on a lot of guitarists, Jay, is Dick Cheney. He was a powerful and polarizing Republican figure who rose from Gerald Ford's chief of staff to Wyoming congressman, then served as Secretary of Defense under George H.W. Bush, overseeing the Persian Gulf War. As vice president under George W. Bush from 2001 to 2009, he wielded a significant influence on foreign policy, national security, and the response to 9/11, becoming the subject as well, Jason, of the Oscar-winning 2018 biopic Vice, starring Christian Bale playing said character or person. He died in November at the age of 84, heart failure.
Yeah. I don't know a ton
Did he shoot
about
somebody?
American politics. Yeah, he shot a friend while hunting.
How do you do that?
By shooting your gun with somebody's in front of you?
Is that from the school of Alec Baldwin? Weapon handling?
His name has been around forever. 9/11 cements it.
Yeah.
Interesting that his construction company, Halliburton, had a big coincidental contracts, air quote, rebuilding Iraq.
Good for him. All above board, I'm sure. So good.
Yeah.
Okay. Jay, Cleto Escobedo III. He was the longtime band leader and saxophonist for the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, where he founded and led that band, Cleto and the Cletones, in 95 onward, playing alto, tenor, and soprano saxophones while occasionally providing vocals alongside band members, including his own father, Cleto Escobedo Sr. Beyond the Late Show, the group toured to perform with artists such as Paul Abdul, Mark Anthony, and Philip Bailey of Earth, Wind and Fire. Jay, he died at the age of 59 due to a heart attack. Childhood friend of Jimmy Kimmel, band leader of his show, died at the age of 59 in November of a heart attack.
Yeah, I was too young. I did not realize they were childhood friends. Oh, wow. Okay. So, used to be a fan of Jimmy's, not so much anymore. His shtick is getting boring and long in the tooth. Right. I miss the Man Show.
Yeah, the Man Show was the Man Show, yeah.
I kind of miss that Jimmy, where it was just kind of fun, is that I feel bad for Jimmy for losing a childhood friend. Regardless of how I feel about Jimmy now, I there's a human connection there that I feel bad that he's lost.
This is a name I knew when I heard of his passing. I thought, whoa, that's because I watched the first.
I was surprised because he's so young.
Yeah, he's young, 59, heart attack. It's probably, I don't want to guess, but probably not the healthiest living, I would suspect, if it's heart attack at 59. So,
yeah.
Jay, you've heard of Rob Reiner. He gained fame as Michael Meathead Stivic on the groundbreaking sitcom All in the Family, before becoming an acclaimed director of beloved classics, including This is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, and A Few Good Men, and many more. He and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, were found stabbed to death in their Brentwood home in a double homicide. with her son, Nick Reiner, charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. December 14th, age of 78, with his wife. Horrific, absolutely horrific. Murdered by your own child. Rob Reiner, Jay, any thoughts on his career?
His career, what's crazy is Spinal Tap, the mockumentary, was his first debut.
Right out of the canon, so to speak.
And then, of course, my favorite of all the things that he's done is Princess Bride. I mean, that's such a classic. It never gets old. It's so well done. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, his other pieces of work. But what a tragic way to die. I mean, you bring in a child, you love the child, you support the child, you are by that child's side. We know that guy, from all accounts, had mental illness and drug addiction issues. He still stood by him, it appears, by all accounts. And then you are taken out by that person that you brought into the world and tried your best to help.
It's weird. It's unfortunate, weird.
Yeah.
All right. Rest in peace to Rob, of course. I've loved a lot of those movies. I've loved from one of my favorite films of all time is If You Can. And Tom Cruise's performance in that movie is amazing. Princess Bride is one I've shown all my kids, all the various ages they've been in. Stand By Me is one I showed them too. They love that one. It's a great movie. Yeah, I mean, and Miseries. That freaking ankle breaking scene is one of the hardest things to watch in movie history. I can't handle it. Once that board gets put between James Caan's feet,
I look away. I look away too, man.
I think I saw it in the theater happen because I wasn't too sure what was going on. Then ever since, like, no, stop. What are you?
As soon as she grabbed that sledgehammer,
I should have known.
There's no way.
Well, I didn't think they were going to show it. I think I thought it was going to be off screen, but that's probably why I kept watching because I didn't think they would show it. Because this came out in 1990 or something, so I'm thinking, oh, they're not going to show the ankle snap backwards. All right. Now, Jay, we got one last latecomer, December 28th, the lovely Brigitte Bardot. Look at her. Lovely woman. Rose to international fame as a French actress and sex symbol in the 50s and 60s, starring in iconic films And God Created a Woman and Contempt, where her sensual and liberated portrayals redefined female sexuality on screen. After retiring from acting in 1973, however, at the age of 39, she dedicated her life to animal rights activism, founding the Brigitte Bardot Foundation and campaigning against issues like seal hunting and animal cruelty. In her later years, however, Jay, she became a controversial figure due to outspoken political views, including criticism of immigration, the Me Too movement, and multiple convictions she was charged with for inciting racial hatred. She died at the age of 91. The cause of death was not publicly disclosed, but again, at the age of 91. Again, a name I knew when I heard of her passing. I knew who she was. It's just, you hear she's like a Marilyn Monroe type figure, or she did face a little bit of controversy in her later years, but okay, so there you go, folks. There's the list from 2025 of the most important people in our world. These are the only people that matter. So let's go through this list again. For a reminder, Mike Reiner, David Lynch, Bob Uecker, Michelle Trachtenberg, Gene Hackman, George Foreman, Val Kilmer, Ted Kochev, Pope Francis, George Wendt, Brian Wilson, Jimmy Swaggart, Michael Madsen, Mark Snow, Michael Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, Lonnie Anderson, Terrence Stamp, Brent Hines, Graham Greene, Charlie Kirk, Robert Redford, Jane Goodall, Diane Keaton, Ace Frehley, Dick Cheney, Clito Escobedo III, Rob Reiner, and Brigitte Bardot. Jason, who was the worst for you to pass?
I'm going to have to say Brent Hines. First, his age.
Yeah, 51.
Right, 51. He's young. Obviously tragic. Maybe if he was being reckless on the motorcycle, which it sounds like he may have been. I feel like him being kicked out of his band.
I didn't know that part, actually. I thought he was still in the band.
The fact it was kind of fairly recent, and so maybe the turmoil in his heart and mind regarding that experience, there's not closure. My interaction with him, with my son, that's a memory that will never fade that I had with him, and it was a great time and a great memory, and I know it impacted him as well. For that reason, it had maybe the biggest impact on me and impression on me.
That's great. I love those reasons. Fantastic. And I think it's pretty obvious what mine is. I will say runner up was Val Kilmer because I love Tombstone and I love Willow. Those are my two favorite. Val Kilmer's always a great actor. I always enjoyed him, but he was never an actor that I ran to see because, so this is key. Like, I got to see a Val Kilmer film, but I seem to see a lot of his films because he just picked good projects and I happened to watch the good projects that he was in. but I didn't necessarily see it because of him. There's only a few actors I do that for today. But that being said, I love him. Rest in peace, and I'm glad he found peace after a long bout of health issues. But I think it would be remiss if one of us didn't obviously pick Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, and he was my second.
Yeah, I figured as much. So I'll speak probably for both of us regarding his passing. It's just the difference between, I guess, Val and I'll also say third runner-up maybe was Hulk, just because my childhood memories were so pure and so nice to remember. Like before I knew of any drama behind the scenes stuff, childhood Ryan would have been crushed by the death, right? But adult Ryan is kind of like it's tarnished too much. But with Ozzy, he was just such a sweet soul. He had his own demons, but those demons didn't make him a bad person. He was well loved. And I just loved his music. So that's the other thing, is like his music continues today. I put it in. You just love to see him live. You hear those songs, Black Sabbath, of course. This is stuff that's just going to last forever. Music touches the soul in a different way than an actor does. And music is a really powerful emotion. So yeah, we both picked musicians today, and that stands out to reason why, right? Music has a very powerful bonding that it's hard to beat musicians. I think a lot of these lists that we've done has been musicians almost seem to win out because there's a special connection.
Emotional. They're more of an emotional, intangible. If Brent Hinds wasn't on this list, it would be Ozzy, but I'm not surprised that Ozzy passed. I'm more surprised that he lasted as long as he did. We all knew it was coming. It's been coming for years. His impact is what it is, but just on an emotional level, in my experience that I had with my son at their concert and the impact that it had, I have to pick Brent.
Okay. Yeah. Another fun episode, Jay. I really enjoyed doing this with you, of course. I'm really looking forward to who we're going to miss next year. I get excited when January 1st hits. I'm like, who's the first one? Who's the one that has kind of popped the bubble for the year? It's always kind of exciting. Like the celebrities, right? There's celebrities right now. I have no idea. It's their year. It's coming. It's coming, folks. It's coming for you. So I always think each year is like, well, who's going to be this year? It's going to be boring, But 2025 gave some big names, and I'm really excited for 2026, Jay. Thank you so much for everyone who supports the show. We appreciate your support. Remember, in front of every silver lining, there's a cloud. Today for Ryan, it was Ozzy Osbourne. And for Jason, it was Brent Hinds.